We are going to draw the Tangle Bales today. So if you would like to take a moment and set an intention, feel free to do that for your practice. We're going to start out with our corner dots. So I'm going to flip my tile over and we're just going to draw a dot in each corner. And then draw our border, connecting the dots. I prefer to draw toward myself. You can draw them any way you wish. Obviously my dots are loose guidelines. They just give me a place to start. And then I'm going to set my pencil away. We're not going to use the pencil anymore today. I'm going to pick up my Micron 01. And Bales is a grid tangle. So I like to draw almost like a tic-tac-toe board. With the Bijous, I just like to draw 3 divided into 3, basically. That's usually what I do. You could make them bigger, you could make them smaller. For Bales, this feels like a good place. And you can see I'm not perfectly square here. I have bigger sections over here, smaller over here, totally fine. If you want it to be more precise, I would just say take more time. And then we are going to draw like these seed shapes, like little, it's going to end up being like rice shapes. I'm going to go on both sides. If you prefer to always draw in the same direction, you could turn your tile. So I'll do that in this middle one. I'm going to do my C shapes down the one side, and then I'm going to turn my tile so that I can draw in the same direction. I actually don't mind drawing on both sides, and because these are squares, I'm actually going to draw on the outsides as well. Same thing over here. This is one of those tangles that you can kind of layer, and I'll show you what I mean as we go here. Then I'm going to turn my tile. Oh, that was really blurry. I hope it goes into focus on the tile. You let that happen. And then we will draw again. These seed shapes. Oh, we're having tech difficulties today. And then same thing on this middle one. I don't know why I do the middles first, but I do. It just feels more comfortable for me. So you can see this creates like another pattern. I can see flowers, I see circles. It's kind of fun. So you can just leave it there and you don't have to do anything else. The other thing you can do is you can aura on the inside if you wish. And then you can anchor the corners. So you don't have to do this. It's just another way to embellish Bales. And to be fair, usually when I draw Bales, I'm not quite this kitty wumpus. My squares are usually a little more precise. Not perfect, but definitely a little, like they're really big on top and small on the bottom. I usually have them a little more uniform, but I don't really mind the effect of them being a little different. And so I'm choosing to go all the way with the steps and actually anchoring those corners. That's a variation. It's not required. Well, I mean, obviously you can take your creative license with any of this and make it yours, but I'm just showing you all the steps so that the whole tile is done in the same way. And then you can decide and play with this tangle a little bit and see what works for you. So that's Bales. Now, as far as shading goes, I don't usually shade really. Sometimes I'll put a drop of graphite here But really, another thing you can do, if you want, you can leave it as is, or you could just add like little flicks in the centers with your pen. Sometimes I like to show shading without pencils in case some of you are using supplies without the pencil. And so that can be a fun way to just add a little bit of, I'm really just starting in that center and just flicking my pen. Another way to add some embellishment. Not required, but kind of fun. And I actually like it with just these. So I'm not going to do the edge ones because then it sticks out. So I'm going to leave that alone and call that good. On a bigger tile, bales can be fun, and on sections where it's like in a string, so it's not just a square, can also be really fun. So play with the tangle and see what you think. I'm going to put my chop in this big square over here just because I can, and there's space there. So I'm going to do that like that. And then on the back, we can sign it or initial it, put the date, and then BU, Bijou. And this is Bales, Bales. That is it for today. Thanks for joining me. Bye.